Do you want a Land Rover Defender that is actually reliable? If the answer is yes, you should check out one of these, the Lexus GX, a premium luxury body-on-frame SUV that now has some more off-road credentials. This is a GX550 Overtrail Plus. Now, at its core, the GX has always had proper capabilities, but I feel like previous generations didn't get used that way, especially when new. Honestly, most of these luxury SUVs that have off-road capabilities are just used to tackle Starbucks drive-thrus and hit the mall. It's once they became used, depreciated, second owner, third owner, people would start modifying the Lexus GX platform, lift kit, more aggressive off-road tires, turning them into off-road machines. But now Lexus is getting in on the action with this new generation while new. This is the Overtrail Plus trim, and it brings some off-road hardware. We've got the 33-inch all-terrain tires, 2 locking differentials, additional drive modes, terrain modes. Instead of electric side steps, you get this more durable protection rock rail thing. So the GX550 Overtrail Plus is pretty capable, but now I feel a little bit guilty because I've gone on and on about how, oh yeah, off-road this, off-road that, and we're actually not doing any proper off-roading this week. We're going to be spending some time living with this thing in the real world, where honestly 97% of owners are probably still going to be using it, but we're going to spend some time with the GX550, which I'm very excited about because I've driven the LX, the Land Cruiser, the Tacoma 4Runner TRD Pros. This is my first time actually spending time with the GX, and I've liked the other newer Toyota SUVs, and some of them share a similar platform to this one here. So this should be quite a bit of fun. Now, what's under the hood now for the GX550? Goodbye V8, very sad. Instead, we now have a 3.4-liter twin-turbo V6. Now, it makes 349 horsepower and 479 pound-feet of torque. That's a pretty impressive torque number, especially because it's not hybridized. It's just the twin-turbo V6. So no more V8, but we got a boosted 6-cylinder under the hood. And I love the way this thing looks, especially in Nori Green Pearl. Oh, this paint is so cool. It's got that boxy, rugged look to it. It helps having the roof rail, the tires here. Overall, big fan of the way this thing looks. Now let's go see what it's like to live with. Oh yeah, and pricing. How much does this thing cost? Well, it is optioned to $86,000. I know that's a lot of money, but it is a Lexus, and the Overtrail Plus, the Plus treatment means you get extra bells and whistles. We've got massage seats, the optional upgraded Mark Levinson sound system, the optional roof rack. So it's got some nice luxury and tech features, but what is it like to live with? Let's go find out and tackle some Michigan potholes. We have a sponsor for today's video, LazFit. We've got some all-weather floor mats we're going to install in this 4Runner TRD Pro. If you live somewhere like Michigan where it's like the Arctic tundra, you know how important all-weather floor mats are because of, well, snow, ice, and salt. As you can see, the factory floor mats don't extend that far, so you can oftentimes have dirt, snow, and salt extending beyond the edges. Let's go ahead and unbox these. They're made of TPE, which is thermoplastic elastomer, which sounds really fancy, but essentially combines the benefits of plastic where they're really durable. They can be injection molded with high accuracy and precision because they're all custom fit to the different vehicles, and they can be recycled, but also rubber where it can be flexible, but not that terrible rubber smell, right? You know, sometimes you get something rubber and it's got that really strong smell. These don't have that. Remove the factory floor mats here, pull these out. Ooh, those are dirty. And then go ahead, slide these in. And as you can see, that is much better coverage. They use the same OEM mounting points, which is really important because you do not want your floor mats moving around. Passenger side out, and the new one going in. Twist, locks that in. All of this coverage here that the factory one's not, and look how far it extends. Like comparison, right? Like this is, you can fit the factory ones inside these new ones, and this is all additional coverage right there. So if you need all-weather floor mats for your car, I would definitely recommend checking out LazFit. They have so many options and configurations. For example, for the 4Runner, you can pick either 5-seat or 7-seat, hybrid or non-hybrid, front row, second row, cargo, and if you use my discount code, you get 20% off your order. Thanks to LazFit for sponsoring this video. Now back to the vlog. I know I said I'm not doing any proper off-roading, but we're not currently on the road, so let's go drive over some things. Multi-terrain, dirt, sand, mud, deep snow. None of those, ooh, nice animation. None of those are technically applicable here, so we'll just do auto. 4 high, that should be totally fine. Just in this random little back lot. No adjustable height air suspension. So we just have it as it is. I'll go over some things. Sensors are beeping at me. Actually, let's try out for low. Oop, into neutral. Nice and slow. You got some cameras pulled up. Lots of beeping. La da 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 da. Yeah, that's not remotely stressing this thing out. It'd be so embarrassing if I got stuck here. There's no way in this truck that we would, but we don't have a side step here. We have a rock rail for protection. Welcome sequence. Although I don't know why that reminds me of like old Windows backgrounds, like Windows Media Player. Cold start, twin turbo V6, Lexus. All right, today we are heading down to Dearborn, Michigan to go see a car. You could probably guess which manufacturer because Dearborn, Michigan. I won't say what it is, but we're gonna be driving about an hour in the GX. One of the first impressions behind the wheel of the GX is it doesn't feel insanely wide, which is a good thing because some of these newer SUVs and trucks are getting so absolutely massive. You feel like you're taking up the entire lane. It's kind of similar to the Mercedes G-Wagon, which feels very skinny and tall. Very similar kind of experience. I feel like a Defender feels even wider than this, and definitely like a Wrangler or a Ford Bronco. So it's actually a relief to not feel like you're 3 miles wide and eating up 1.5 lanes on the road. Yeah, like this road right here becomes kind of like it's a two-way street, but it's like the lane lines disappear. And it's in between the lake and a bunch of houses over here. And sometimes when you go through in a wider vehicle, I took a Raptor down here once and I'm like, don't curb the wheel and don't hit the car on oncoming. So it can be nice in a skinnier vehicle like this, but it's still really tall. So you got that visibility, which is nice. Very commanding view of the road. Angel would actually really like this thing. I need to take her out in the Lexus GX. She likes being higher up. Tried convincing her to get a sedan. She goes, no, I want to be higher up. So we bought her a Macan, which is just like a lifted wagon, right? It's not even that tall. But I think she would enjoy this thing. Although she didn't like the 4Runner. She said everything felt too ponderous and heavy. The steering, the brakes and everything. I think she's gotten used to the nimble and quick little compact luxury crossover in the Macan. This definitely, you could tell it's still a body on frame. It has leaning more towards truck-like behaviors. How the impacts on the road, the things transmitting through the chassis, suspension, the steering, those kind of things. I mean, it's civilized, don't get me wrong, but you can definitely feel the difference between this versus a unibody construction like the Land Rover Defender. All right, we're in eco mode, but let me go over to, that's comfort. Wow, this thing has a Sport Plus. Sport Plus, floor it. It definitely pumps in a lot of engine sound. I would not call this thing sporty. Downshift. There we go. Downshift? Maybe? There's third gear. There's second gear. Yeah, this is that's why I find a Sport Plus mode in this thing very ironic. We have custom, Sport Plus, Sport, Normal, Comfort, Eco. Let's see what Comfort is like. One of the nice things about the Overtrail trim is our roads in Michigan suck, but you know, I'm not that worried. With these tires on this thing, potholes stand no chance. Hey look, I found a friend, another GX550. He also has a roof rack on it. Very easy button right here to pull up your camera view. Overhead view, front camera, and there we go, easy to park. All right, let's go get some groceries. How practical is the GX? Press the button, power tailgate opens up. It's a pretty high sill and load floor here, and that is a gigantic cover for the tow hitch. We got this all-weather mat back here. Some groceries. It's so dangerous to go grocery shopping when hungry. I did not intend to buy so much stuff. And I had to try really, really hard to not buy fried chicken. Oh, this is the built-in air compressor, I think. Yeah, very handy. Pretty sure the 4Runner TRD Pro also has that. Always put your shopping cart back. This thing looks really cool. Look how much taller it is than a Ford Explorer back there. Let's head to out of office garage today. Gonna do some work, some filming over there, hang out with some friends. I just noticed 2 chips in the windshield. There's one right there, and then there's another one right down there. Yeah, it can happen in these vehicles that have more vertical windshields. I know like Jeep Wranglers and I think Ford Broncos are very susceptible to rock chips in the windshield, so it's a little bit of a bummer. This GX, and by extension the Land Cruiser, they feel like they're in between two levels, right? You've got the Wrangler and Bronco, more mainstream body on frame, kind of off-road focused SUVs, and at the higher end you have something like the G-Wagon and the Land Rover Defender, even though the Defender is now unibody. But this kind of spans in between the two of them. I wouldn't say it's closer to either side. It's actually kind of right in between the experience, because like the dynamics, the feeling is very similar to the Wrangler and the Bronco. It's got pretty good capability, especially here as an Overtrail, but it's got some of the more upscale touches, the luxury features, but it's not quite the level of a G-Wagon, obviously. The G-Wagon is more than twice the price of this thing and a total different stratosphere, but you know, some of the core elements are shared. It's very boxy, skinny, and tall. It's got ostensibly off-road credentials, although the G63 obviously has gone way more towards luxury on-road behavior, and the new generation drives really nice. I'm a big fan of the latest refresh with that new fancy suspension and of course twin turbo V8 under the hood. But this it's a good alternative. You don't want to spend G-Wagon money and have G-Wagon kind of presence and perception and things like that. Also, I've been averaging 13.6 mpg, which not stellar. Obviously, again, it's the bigger, heavier body-on-frame SUV, aerodynamic properties of a brick, twin-turbo V6, but at that point, could I just have a naturally aspirated V8 again, like a low-stressed V8? It would sound better, and probably offer similar performance, and probably similar MPGs. Look at this green paint under the sun. I love this color. Remember the LX that we had in Arizona?
Yeah.
Same Nori green pearl, yeah. Preston's checking out the GX2, because you've had how many Defenders?
Why am I asking you?
Yeah.
I think 6.
6. So you know Defenders very well.
Yeah.
And this is more of like a, even though this is body on frame, Defender's unibody, this is more like a Defender-ish competitor.
G-Wagon light. Right?
Yeah, because like this is 86 grand, and it's pretty much towards the top of the line, and you can't buy a G-Wagon unless it's 15 years old for that kind of money.
This is like
right?
a 300 series Land Cruiser for the United States.
Yes, essentially, yeah, because now the 250 is smaller. Right. But, oh man, this color is so cool. But this one's the Overtrail Plus, so we've got the 33-inch all-terrain tires, it's got 2 locking diffs, bunch of other hardware for off-road shenanigans. But the interior is cool. We've got the upgraded leather, the two-tone. You've reached suburban soccer mom phase.
Yes, makes a lot of sense.
Oh, it's got the 18 million way seats. They can adjust like the individual bolster and everything.
Max Cinema is the dash.
What was sticker on this one?
Close to 115.
115?
Yeah,
Captain's chairs with the little thing. Yeah, okay, so this is fancy. It does have that new car smell. I mean, two very different luxury SUV formulas. This legit, I think, would be really fun off-road. I was just like driving around in the grass back there, and I'm like, this would be really cool off-road. It definitely has the capabilities, the tires, the diffs. Yeah, I love the design of this thing. I like it even more than a Land Cruiser. Whoa, I just noticed this. It's got this hexagonal pattern on the door insert with green showing through the perforations. That's actually really cool. Looks sporty. To me, like, hexagon patterns like this always remind me of Lamborghinis, because Lamborghinis love hexagons, or like Audi RS quilted seats. That's like a sporty looking pattern. And the seats too, we've got some green suede contrast right here, and then the creamy tan colored leather with these indents too, and then the black on the bolsters and everything else with some contrasting stitching. So lots of different interesting colors and textures. This has to be the most over-engineered, complex 12-volt outlet cover in the world. Like, it takes up all of this space here. Instead of a little plastic flip-up cover, you get this matching trim piece and a little slide-down door. It's got some decorational. At first, I was like, oh, maybe like you can like stick a phone on here. You've got the USB-C ports. No, I think it's just the 12-volt outlet port. It doesn't seem the most space-efficient here. But anyways, that's right there. And, oh, one other nice thing. This is trimmed in leather. Talk about a nice touch, because oftentimes in center consoles, this is like shiny gloss piano black plastic, which attracts fingerprints, dust, looks terrible, scratches, whatever. This has leather with stitching. Like, that's actually really nice. Whoa, look at what we just found. Stopped at Home Depot to pick up some things, and this is a customer Corvette ZR1 hanging out in the parking lot. Looks like they just took delivery. The front end's covered in some track wrap for protection. Man, C8 ZR1 with the carbon aero pack. I actually really like these silver wheels on the orange paint. Because of the coupe, you get the additional intakes here on the shoulder, the split window, and this rear wing. Absolutely insane aero. You can see it's a customer car, not a manufacturer development car. It looks like they did museum delivery down at Bowling Green. It is so cool finally seeing these things out in the wild. This would be, oh, what a two-car solution. Corvette ZR1 and the Lexus GX. So cool finally seeing them in customer hands. We see a lot of manufacturer cars out here. I mean, this thing is on a manufacturer plate too as a press car, but actually seeing customer cars. All right, so is the GX practical? Well, a friend of mine was getting rid of some furniture and he graciously let me pick and choose what I wanted to take for our house. So I drove over there in the GX and we loaded it up with a little table thing, lamp, little personal treadmill kind of thing. So no third row. And then I folded the second row forward, pretty easy. So, you know, still a pretty practical SUV. Now, it's not tremendously wide or tremendously long, but you can still obviously fit a good amount of stuff back there. I'd say it's comparable to, actually, it's a little bit more spacious than maybe a 4Runner, although I don't think I folded the seats forward. So it's kind of in that size. A bigger SUV is going to have bigger, well, that's a dumb statement. Of course, a bigger SUV is going to have bigger space. But anyways, you can kind of see some of the practicality. We're hanging out at my friend Jason's garage. We've got the cars scattered all over the place, tackling random little projects here and there, and he has a 4Runner TRD Pro, and I want to ask him, why did you pick the 4Runner TRD Pro over the GX? Did you think about the GX?
I did. I actually like the motor in the GX better.
Yeah, the V6.
I think it's a little bit stronger than the 4Runner, but I like the looks of 4Runner better.
So looks won over.
Yes.
Did you drive both of them and compare them? And still 4Runner.
But I was sold. I feel the Lexus drives better than the 4Runner, but the 4Runner looks more aggressive.
So we've got your 4Runner TRD Pro. Oh, also Civic Type R. That thing actually looks really nice in the blue.
Yes.
I actually never driven one.
Well, you're gonna drive one
Yeah,
soon.
soon. So I like the GX looks. It's got that skinny, tall, boxy look. Also, this nori green pearl paint is spectacular. But you like your refrigerator.
I do like the refrigerator.
You like the refrigerator. I mean, I can't really criticize it because I think these things look really, really cool too. I did not love that 4-cylinder hybrid. It didn't do it for me.
This powertrain's
This twin, but here's the same thing. You know, take a guess what I'm averaging MPG wise, and I'm not driving like an idiot.
So you're probably about 18.
I wish 13.
Really?
Dude, it is thirsty. I mean, we have the aerodynamic properties of a brick. It's tall, right? Off-road tires, all-terrain tires, the roof rack. But dude, I'm doing like 13.5.
But I'm getting 18 on that.
I still don't know how you did 18, because when I had a Tacoma, or yeah, TRD Pro, I was doing like 12. Maybe I just have a left foot. Price, how much was your 4Runner?
76,000.
So this one as option is 86,000.
So you're paying another 10 grand.
10 grand for a Lexus.
Yep.
I got massage seats. I got the Mark Levinson sound system. So Mr. TRD Pro 4Runner, final verdict, you still like it over the GX? Or are you torn now? I can see the indecision on your face.
I'm a little torn because I do like the drivetrain of this. And the drive of it is a lot nicer. It's a lot nicer. It's a big difference.
Yeah.
I still like the looks of the TRD Pro.
See, I think I like the looks. Oh, that is tough. This one's taller. This one has more presence. Yours has like the width.
Yes.
The girth. Like the angriness.
I like the girth.
But this one is a Lexus. Oh. No.
Don't post that.
Oh no, that is staying in the vlog.
Oh.
The massage seats on this are really nice.
Because I think that lower price point, but what's going to be interesting is this new generation with the hybrid
4-cylinder.
It's going to be real interesting to see.
When I posted my Tacoma 4Runner TRD Pro, or what am I even saying? Tacoma TRD Pro, a lot of people are like, 4-cylinder, no, like, oh, why doesn't it have the V6 anymore? People get really hung up over how many cylinders a car has.
They do.
Which I can get, right? That is a way more complex powertrain.
But I will tell you, it is way better than the old
naturally aspirated one? Yeah.
Way better.
Yeah. Now, if this one had a V8 still, no brainer, get the GX. I still would get the GX, I think, right now. If I were to buy, I would get this thing without the roof rack, because it makes it sound like you're going through a wind tunnel as soon as you do a 45 miles an hour.
Yeah,
no roof rack.
That would be rough.
Drop the roof rack. I like this thing a lot.
The other thing I noticed is this doesn't have the start stop. So like with the hybrid power, you have the constant start stop.
Oh, it's turning on. Yeah.
And you can't turn it off, really. So it's
this is just a V6. It's a twin turbo V6, 10-speed auto. Got the locking diffs, full-time 4-wheel drive, 2 locking diffs. We got this will tow more. This has all your different drive modes, your off-road stuff too. It's got a nice luxury features, and it's a Lexus, so I like it.
It's a great vehicle.
Thank you for weighing in and telling everybody how you prefer the girth. It's been a gray, gloomy, and rainy day, but looks like we have a short little break in the rain, so let me take you on a quick tour of the GX550 Overtrail Plus and show you some of the details. I do wish the sun was out because then you could see the nori green pearl paint. It's a pretty spectacular color. I absolutely love every Lexus I've seen painted in this color. It's a nice dark green with quite a lot of metallic flake. The Overtrail models get 33-inch all-terrain tires, which I think they're the exact same tires you get on a 4Runner TRD Pro. You also have a 1-inch suspension lift, and instead of the sideboards that come out, you get that rock rail step right there for more protection. Now, I've said it probably too many times, but it's a very skinny and tall box of a vehicle, but you have the Lexus front end styling applied here, some additional protection below, pretty good approach angles, and then coming around to the side, I really like this little shoulder line that goes up right there. And then the roof rack, which does look really cool, but if you're not using it, I would recommend not optioning it or removing it because, one, it creates so much wind noise, and I imagine it's not that great for aerodynamic efficiency, so your fuel economy. It does look the part, though, with the whole tough and rugged overall design. Now, coming around back, we have the full-width light bar, Lexus logo, GX550. No, like Overtrail branding all over. I don't see a badge or anything like that. You just kind of, I don't know if you see the all-terrain tires, this is an Overtrail version, so a little more subtle in that way. That's a pretty big cover for your tow hitch, and then below, you do have a full-size spare, so any mishaps happen, you're out on the trail, you can swap to a full-size spare, and you can press this button right here, and you can open the rear glass. It's not like the 4Runner where you can slide it down into the tailgate, but you can independently open that rear glass from the overall tailgate. This thing has some serious presence. I'm 6'3", right? And like, it's quite a bit taller than me. When you're in parking lots and stuff, you can easily see it parked there. Just the roof rack and the top of the truck is just above everything else. All right, final thoughts on living with the GX550 Overtrail Plus. I have grown to really like this thing. It has absolutely won me over. Body on frame truck, it feels nice and solid, although there are some trade-offs, right? You'll feel some of the impacts through the frame, and I have noticed some creaks and squeaks and rattles here and there just going over some of the bumps, but that's just the nature of a vehicle like this. Dynamically, it's actually pretty good despite running these 33-inch all-terrain tires. So we do have some fancy tech. This has, get ready for some crazy acronyms, E-KDSS, Electronic Kinetic Dynamic Suspension System. Essentially, it's able to automatically disconnect and reconnect the sway bars for more wheel articulation if you're doing off-road kind of stuff, or on-road it can help a little bit with the body motion, because again, skinny tall box, right? You want to have it handle decently, and I've taken some turns at speed in Sport Plus mode, which I still find funny that a truck like this, an off-road focused truck, has a Sport Plus mode. Just so many different drive modes, right? It's not sporty in any way whatsoever, but like it still handled itself okay, again, despite those tires and such. The 1-inch suspension lift and the overall proportions of it means it's really distinctive. It stands out. You walk into the parking lot, right, or walk out to your parking lot looking for your Lexus, and you can immediately see it because the roof rack does help. It makes it really tall and noticeable, but even among other trucks and SUVs, pretty distinctive. I love Nori Green Pearl. I mean, I could write a whole article about Nori Green Pearl and how much I love this paint color, although it's gloomy and gray right now under the sun. Oh, an LC500 in this color with like the saddle tan interior. Yes, please. Yes, please. The tech is good, right? Toyota and Lexus, they never go over the top with tech. They're not going to give you 15 million touchscreens and swipey buttons. I like that, right? Now, this infotainment screen, I believe, is 14 inches. Do I wish some of the climate controls were physical? Yeah, like on the 4Runner, you have the toggles. This is all integrated into the touchscreen, but I've been running CarPlay pretty much the whole time, and you get some nice native infotainment stuff and off-road info. You can see that. Fortunately, they didn't do any proper off-roading today. I actually would love to try this thing off-road because we've got the Torsen limited slip differential, the locking, the rear locker, and then you have all the different drive modes, multi-terrain system, the low-speed crawl, the 2-speed transfer case. Now, I also find it's interesting that this is 4-wheel drive all the time. It doesn't go into a 2-wheel drive mode. You either go 4 high or 4 low, right? And you can switch your diffs right here, the lockers. So it's pretty much just a tank all of the time. One thing I love driving things like this is our roads suck in Michigan, right? And you hit a pothole, NBD. Could not be worried, right? And it's a combination of the body, the frame, the tires, the suspension, everything. You just go. You'll know it'll be really, really solid. Yeah, it's really won me over. Downsides, 13.6 mpg is pretty bad. I'm at a quarter tank of fuel, and it says 52 miles to empty. So what, that's 200 miles on a full tank? And it's not a small tank either, and you have to run it on premium. So that's a big difference between this and a 4Runner TRD Pro. 4Runner, you can run it on regular gas, right? The little 4-cylinder hybrid. But I did it back-to-back, driving my friend Jason's 4Runner TRD Pro and then this. I prefer the twin-turbo V6 in this truck compared to the 4-cylinder hybrid. It's just, I prefer it. It just, the torque delivery is solid, the numbers are good, and it just, I don't know, it's something about this engine speaks to me much more. Plus, you get the 10-speed automatic versus the 8-speed in the 4Runner, and that thing will tow, I think, 6,000 pounds. This will tow 9,000. It's just a class up. This is the proper big Land Cruiser, not the little baby Land Cruiser we've been given now, the 250, right? This is like the 300 series, right, in the rest of the world. What else? The roof rack. If you're not going to use it, don't even option it, because, man, it's like driving through a wind tunnel with that thing up there. And then you don't get a third row if you go to Overtrail. If you need one, go for the other trims. But if I were ordering a body-on-frame SUV, or just this segment of SUV, I think I'm going for this over the Defender. Now, what the Defender has going for is there's so many more options, different lengths. You can do the 90, the 110, the 130, different engines, so many different options. Now they have the Octa. Lexus doesn't quite have that. Now, could they add more? I don't think the wheelbase length needs to be added, but more powertrain options. Give us a V8 one again, right? That would be cool. Or whenever the hybrid version of this, I thought it was supposed to come. Oh, pavement ends. All right, this is not going to be a test of anything, but I'm just going to maintain 45 miles an hour and keep going. NBD. I would be curious to see what the premium and the luxury versions of this with the on-road wheels, like I think you get 22-inch wheels with more road-focused tires, and how much of a different personality that brings. But overall, 2 thumbs up from me. I did really, really like this thing. Hope you guys enjoyed this vlog living with the GX550 Overtrail Plus. Thanks for watching.